Hey, what's up YouTube? This video here is a quick walk around and review of my 2011 Nissan Altima. I purchased this vehicle slightly over a year ago. By the end, this is mid-November or late November, I should say. Today's November 23rd, 2014. I purchased this vehicle on October 28th, 2013. And I've put, I would say, approximately almost, not quite, but almost 10,000 miles on it, or getting very close. I would say about 9,000 miles is what I put on it in 1 year. But we're getting up to about 10,000 altogether since I've owned it. And I just wanted to give some feedback on how my experience has been with this vehicle since I've owned it. Now, there's obviously previous videos that I've put up of this as a review and walk around from closer to when I purchased it a year ago. But I want to give you an update as far as where I currently, my opinions stand now that I've owned the car for a year. I figured this video might be useful to somebody you know, that's interested in purchasing one of these vehicles. Now, I'm going to start off by saying absolutely I would give a thumbs up for this vehicle. Over the years, I've been eyeballing these Nissan Altimas since they came out. I want to say with the, probably ever since the ever since the third generation. I want to take that back, not the second generation, but ever since the third generation Nissan, and I currently have the fourth generation right now of the Nissan Altima. I've been eyeballing these vehicles. I really kind of like the styling of them, the way they look, there's you know, they were a pretty popular vehicle. I mean, a lot of people owned and purchased these vehicles. They're a very high top seller in the United States for quite some time. I think they were in the top 10 for a while. So, but just to give you a quick highlight on what this vehicle features, this vehicle has the inside, it has the Bose, and as you can see, it has the navigation system. It also has the XM and DVD player. The radio here tilts out and allows you to put a DVD or a CD in there. It's a really cool feature. The maps on here are from 2010. They definitely need updated, but Nissan charges basically $180 to get the map update for these. So yeah, I haven't really been in a hurry to do that. This vehicle also features the dual climate control here that has the digital readout here on the buttons. It tells you what the temperatures are on each side. So if I adjust this one here, you can see it says 77 degrees. Over here it says 73. So it has a dual climate control. It has the, I think they refer to this as the Shiftronic with the slap shift on it. CVT transmission. It's a 6-speed CVT. Has the heated seats here for both driver and passenger. Leather seats. The power doors and power locks here. So, pretty decent dash. I really like the cluster on this vehicle. It's really quite stylish. It has all of the push-button options on here for the phone to hook up via Bluetooth. Of course, your channel up, channel down, skip back and forth. Source button, you know, to change between XM and CD, for an example. And then over here is for the cruise control here. It comes with the turn signal with the lights. It also has the fog lights on here. And this has the automatic headlights, which is also a nice feature. So at night you don't even have to touch it as long as it's in auto mode. And then your wipers are on its own little stick over here with delay wipers. Has this really neat information system on it here that you can actually skip through to see, such as like the outside temperature. You can go in and check your maintenance, such as like your tire monitoring system, oil, your oil filter. You can also set up a custom one under other. It has 2 tripometers on it, which is kind of a neat feature. So, you know, I've never really found a use for one, but some people that travel may find that, especially for filling out expense reports. It has the intelligent key feature too. As you notice, it has the push button start right there. So it has the famous Nissan intelligent key here, which has the different buttons on it for the lock and the alarm, the trunk. So this is kind of a nice feature too. As long as your key is present with you, you really don't even need to take, there's a key actually slid into this thing right there inside the back of this remote. And what's neat about it is you don't even need to take these out of your pocket. As long as you have this fob and the key with you in your pocket, you can operate this vehicle every possible direction without even taking this thing out of your pocket. Now, if your battery gets low in here, because this has a transponder in it that sends a signal to the body control module of the car, that tells the vehicle that the key's in here to allow operation. If you ever lose if the battery gets low in here, and it'll tell you too on the dash when your battery's getting low on your key fob too. There's a neat little place over here that you can actually put the key right in here, and that plugs in, and that tells the vehicle that the key's in here. So if it ever gets low, your battery, you can just plug the key right in there, and the car will then read that the key's in there. The resistance in it to respond that the key's here, so you can still operate your vehicle. So I'm going to go ahead and get out here. I'm going to shut this off here and close the door and reopen it so it'll quit beeping. It also has the automatic up and down for the front windows too, and the power mirrors too, I might add. Close this door for a minute and then reopen it so it'll quit beeping. So as you can see, it's just a quick view there. It's the heated leather seats there. It needs vacuumed, and it's not very dusty. I usually keep it pretty clean, but it does need a quick dust and a nice leather treatment. Pretty decent. It's pretty roomy. I mean, this is the back seat here. Like I said, I'm kind of repeating what I already went over with the previous video that I had recorded. So when I first bought the vehicle. So it also has the sunroof on it there. And in the mirror there, as you can see, it also, I don't know how well that's showing up, but it has the home link buttons on the bottom, which is what is necessary for the linking up with your garage door. Also has the anti-glare mirror, which is what I like too, so it will, as headlights come up behind you, it will actually dim so you don't get blinded by the lights. It has some map lights up here. It has the mirrors with the vanity mirrors, with the lighted mirrors on the visors. So this is the fully loaded baby. You know, this also has the rear heat back here. I've got some map holders. The Bose, like I said, has the Bose sound system in it with the navigation. Sounds really good. So now you can probably see in the window there where it says Bose. So I've always really liked the design of these vehicles. I mean, these vehicles are actually quite stylish. I've always really liked the way they look. I really like black too on these. Also has the side marker lights that for the turn signals on the mirrors. Got about 39,800 some miles on it now. The only thing the vehicle's needed so far was I had to put brakes on it, which I did myself. I do recommend getting the Nissan brakes. From what I understand, they stop a little better. But I just put ceramics on from Advanced, their top line that they offer, and they've been perfectly fine. Rotors are actually fine. They're not warped, they're not gouged, or you know, they don't have any deep grooves in them, so I just went ahead and reused them. And the only thing they've replaced so far in here would be the battery and the blower motor. The blower motor started getting noisy. Probably wore out prematurely, the blower motor for the climate control. Because of the automatic climate control, they have a tendency of running a lot more frequently, because if you're using the automatic, that blower is pretty much constantly going, and that's probably why it wore out so quick. So it wasn't bad, but it was kind of noisy, and I managed to get them to replace that. Of course, after arguing with them several times and going back 3 times to the local Nissan dealership, they finally decided that they wanted to replace it. I actually had to make a video of the noise that the blower motor was making before they actually believed me. I mean, it was hard to hear in the garage, I guess, the blower motor, so all the background noise. But when you were in the car, even my passengers were asking me, what is that annoying racket? And I had to explain, oh, that's my motor. Fan motor on the heater, and Nissan thinks it's fine, but it wasn't, and they finally replaced it. Probably just shut me up, but I know cars, it needed replaced. So anyhow, I'm not too happy with the Nissan dealerships in my area. Only one of them so far I really can say has been treated me decently so far, but out of the 3 in the area, I really haven't gotten any decent luck or information or support for the vehicles. That's one thing I will tell you. I don't know if it's like this across the United States, but I see this a lot online. I don't know, to be honest, I don't know if it's Nissan, it's just a bad company, or if it's that, I don't know what it is, but it just seems like Nissan dealerships are just really difficult to deal with. And I see a ton of articles online of other people complaining about how poor their experiences, service experiences were with Nissan and dealership franchise, and getting them to handle things that they need and getting things done, and just the lack of information that they provide you too. That's something else I want to throw out there. I can never get them to give me any information. I feel like I have to ask every question, and if it wasn't for me being a car guy, I wouldn't even know the correct questions to ask, but I do, so that's the only reason why I even get any information. With that said, back to the review. This is a 2.5. Like I said, this is the SL model. This comes equipped with the CVT transmission, which you'll see I have another video posted up talking about the service intervals, as well as questions about what is all necessary to change the fluid in it. CVT stands for constant variable transmission. It works off of a steel belt and pulley system with a special fluid. It does not have the traditional gears like a regular automatic transmission does. So it does function and work very differently. And the only real complaints that I have from this vehicle would be the kid in me misses the fact that this vehicle is not super peppy. I mean, it goes, don't get me wrong. If you need to go, it will go. It's just got a slight delay on the initial takeoff. It's not as torquey as like the 6-cylinder is. Some of that I feel is also related not only to it being a 4-cylinder, but also to the CVT. It almost feels like it takes some time for it to wind up into place of where it needs to be to give you the response that you need. This is 175 horsepower. I don't know the foot-pounds of torque, but I do know it's 175 horses engine. I'm currently running the Mobil 1 full synthetic in it with a Pure 1 filter for the oil. I tried the Royal Purple, not saying that it's a waste of money, but I think for my needs, it's a waste of money. I think that Royal Purple oil is fantastic. I just think that it's not meant for this type of application. It'll work perfectly fine. It's not going to hurt you. If you want to spend the money, go for it. I ran it in here for 4,000 miles, had zero problems. My issue with it is cost. I just don't feel that for a newer vehicle with low mileage, being only a 4-cylinder that's not a performance vehicle, something I'm just using as a daily driver, I feel that the Royal Purple is probably a little bit out of my necessary price range of what I need to do. Typically speaking, you can just run regular 5W30 conventional in this and be just fine. Just change it, you know, my opinion, every 3,000 miles. But I run the full synthetic and I change it every 4,000 miles, and I use Mobil 1 full synthetic in here. I've only had it in here for a week, but I will say, of course it could be psychological, but I will honestly, openly say that since I put the Mobil 1 oil in here, I've noticed a little bit more performance increase. Call me crazy, I might be crazy, I don't know, but I just really feel that I've had a boost in performance since I changed to the Mobil 1 from the Royal Purple. And I will add that when I did switch over to the Royal Purple full synthetic 5W30, I noticed right away that it did not seem like I was getting as good a fuel economy. I did not change my driving habits whatsoever. I drive to the same places all the time, and it just didn't seem as torquey. It almost seemed like the engine had lost a few horses, you know what I mean? It was really bizarre. I just ignored it. I just figured it, you know, maybe it was the change in weather, maybe it was, you know, I don't know. I just pushed it off and didn't worry about it. I wasn't having any problems. I just didn't feel the car was as peppy. As soon as I drained that oil out of there, the Royal Purple, and put the Mobil 1 in here, full synthetic, it was like night and day. I just noticed it the minute I drove up the hill, leaving my house, because I live in a hilly terrain. Right away, I noticed that the car pulled up the hill better, sounded better, and just seemed to move better. Like, there didn't seem as much bog. So, I don't know if that, maybe I'm crazy, but I can honestly say that I saw a significant difference in performance. So, I'm going to put the hood down just so you can get a better look here at the car. If I were to do this again, the one question that a lot of people always say is would you purchase the vehicle you have again? Absolutely I would. This also has the fog lights on it too. Absolutely I would purchase this vehicle again. Hands down, it's been a phenomenal vehicle. I've had it for a year and I absolutely love driving it. I mean, I just enjoy driving it. I mean, even though now if it didn't have like the bows and the navigation and all the bells and whistles, I really feel that this car is still a very reliable vehicle and it's going to treat somebody very well. But it's, in my opinion, kind of a plain Jane vehicle. So if you don't get it with the SL package, with the heated seats, the leather, the navigation, and all the toys, in this vehicle. I kind of feel as though it's kind of plain Jane and it's just your typical sedan. So if you really want to get the ultimate experience out of your Altima, I would recommend going with the SL model and getting all the toys in it, because it's really going to give you, it's really going to give you that experience that in your vehicle that I feel that's going to make the car actually make it feel unique and make it feel fun. If it was just the regular Altima without extra features, in my opinion, it would be probably a very boring car. Reliable fuel economy would be great, but still boring if you like all those toys. If you don't like the toys, hey, I still say go for it. Like I said, reliable vehicle, hasn't given me any problems. The brakes are normal wear items. Tires that I put on are normal wear items. And oil changes. I changed also the cabin air filter on here too, because it was starting to get a little musty smell in there, which seems to have gone away since I changed the cabin air filter, which was filthy dirty, might I add. The cabin air filter, if anybody is not aware of what that is a filter that sits up next to your heater core for your climate control that helps filter the air coming into the vehicle. Mine was all filled with dirt, debris, and leaves, and it is located way down here underneath the dash, way up in there where it's dark and you can't see. So you have to take the glove box out to get to it. So it was a little tricky. So there's, as you can see, there's those screws right there that you have to take out to get to them. There's some across there. There's some across the bottom as well. And you have to basically take the entire glove box out of this vehicle in order to remove and get to that cabin air filter. And there's videos online to show you how to do that, and I've already done it, so I'm not going to go through that whole procedure. But the only other issue that I have with this vehicle, and I wouldn't really necessarily say it's an issue with this vehicle, I feel all new vehicles have this problem, is the paint on this car, in the nicest words I can say, sucks. And I don't feel it's just because it's black. I feel that one of the things I noticed is you can go up to the car and say the word scratch and it would scratch. For whatever reason, the paint on this car is not very durable. It nicks and scratches extremely easy. And I don't know if it's because of the new environmentally safe paint that manufacturers are using, but it probably won't even pick up in camera. Now these are typical rock chips, like right there that you can see. It just doesn't clean up very well either. I mean, it does and it doesn't. Like, I mean, you really have to put a lot more efforts into cleaning this vehicle, and I think some of that is related to it being a dark color, being black. But I mean, when I was scraping my windshield last year, and this probably won't even pick up on camera here. As you can see, it probably won't, because I did a pretty decent job repairing it, but I ran a scratch a couple centimeters in, right where my fingernail is, all the way down across here and down here, and then a second one right about in here. I can see it, but you probably won't see it on camera. Looked terrible because it showed up white because it was in the clear coat. And I mean, so I had this giant white scratch, and you could probably see a little bit of it right there. You could probably see the white. So the whole way down here I had this long gaping white scratch in my car that I only owned a month. I mean, it was used, but still, I mean, I was really upset about that. So what I did was I ordered some paint. It's the super black is what Nissan calls this, off of eBay, touch-up. And I basically went ahead and just filled that in, that scratch with that touch-up, let it dry, and then I buffed and waxed the hood with a high-power professional buffer after I touched it up. And now, unless you know where it's at, unless you know that it's there, you don't even see it. So you literally have to know about the scratch or be looking for it to find it now. So to look at it, it's not there. But, I mean, still. There's also this long scratch here. I don't even know if it's going to show up here, but I'll run my finger completely along it here, which I have touch-up over. Scratches here. You know, I mean, it just seems as though the paint and the clear coat is super soft on here. So like I have this scratch here. This was on the car when I bought it. It's hard to see it, and when you clean it, it really doesn't show up at all. But it's definitely a scratch that goes from there all the way down to about there. It was already in the vehicle when I bought it. I just ignored it. It's not a big deal. There's also some scratches down here on the bumper right there. I don't know if they're even showing up or not. Yeah, there they are. You can see them there. you know, these are just, seems like I said it just, and like when I was getting fuel the one day, I accidentally bumped, you see that little chip there? I bumped the nozzle right there against that. Boom, put a huge chip in it. I mean, I hardly touched it. So that is my biggest complaint about this vehicle, which is, for most people, probably wouldn't even care, but for me, being a car guy and appreciating the appearance of my vehicle, the paint quality, and like I said, from what I understand from other people, other manufacturers are the same way, it's not just Nissan, the new paint that they're using is terrible. So that's the biggest complaint I have, is just the paint. It scratches super easy. Other than that, I don't have any other complaints. I really enjoy the vehicle. If I were to say if I had any regrets, there's two sides of me with this, what I'm going to say. One side, like I said, is the kid in me that likes fast and sporty. The kid in me would probably have gotten this with the 6-cylinder. They offer this in a 2.5 and then the optional 3.5 V6. I would definitely recommend getting this in the V6. The fuel economy is not as good, but it's not significantly worse that it isn't worth the bigger engine, in my opinion. This is a heavy mid-size sedan. This engine, in my opinion, is probably a little small for this vehicle. The CVT gives you that extra added fuel economy. It's noticeably different. So what we're going to do is, I have my key in my pocket. We're just going to go for a little ride here and let you see how it handles. It's probably going to be hard to really tell on camera, but you basically press the brake and then hit the start button to start it. And we'll let it warm up for a couple minutes here. Also has this neat little sunglass holder here too, which I've never had sunglasses, so. And like I said, your sunroof, which I told you about. So we're gonna skip out of the maintenance menu here, just because we're not really worried about that. I'm just trying to get it. So still have 126 miles range, it says, and as you can see from the fuel gauge right there in the middle of the screen, it's a little under a half a tank, so the fuel economy is not bad. It's one of my biggest things I love about this car, is I feel like I never have to get gas. So we're gonna go ahead and just go for a little ride here. Go ahead and switch it, put my foot on the brake, go ahead and switch to reverse. As the backup cam, as you can see behind us there, it has the little trajectory marks too. So we'll go ahead and back out here and make sure nobody's coming. And we'll just leave it in regular drive mode here. See, there's D, and here we go. Now once I go to pull up the hill, I'm going to show you what the CVT does here, so you guys can get kind of an idea what it does. So I'm going to leave this on the RPMs here so you can watch it. So once this vehicle comes up past the intersection here, I'll show you. Just got to wait for oncoming traffic, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull out here. All clear. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to pull out standard. See, I'm climbing a hill right now, and the RPMs is pretty interesting. It doesn't really move. I mean, I just climbed up a pretty steep hill here. Now, keep in mind, the engine is a little warm. If the engine was cold or not up to operating temperature yet, the RPMs would have probably went up and stuck around 3,000 RPMs getting me up the hill. It's sort of a feature to warm up the transmission fluid, from what I understand, so it runs at a higher RPM to help keep the engine running at more revolutions, to warm it up, to get it up to temp for best fuel economy. So a little bit of road noise from this vehicle. It's definitely not soundproof, that's for sure. It's not anything more than any other vehicle I've ever had, so it's not more or less or any better either. Pretty standard as far as road noise for newer, lighter material vehicles. As far as interior noise, the sunroof does make a little bit of noise. More specifically, if I have this cover here pushed back and it's just the window exposed, when the sunroof is closed and that vent is pushed back, or screen, or whatever you would like to refer to it as, you do get a little bit of excessive noise. It almost, the best way to describe it is, it sounds like somebody had stuffed a bunch of fishing poles in there and they're rattling around, like the plastic rattle of a fishing pole. It's the best way to describe it. It's something I noticed right after I bought it because noises drive me nuts. The second noise that I noticed as far as interior vibration and rattle is down here on the steering wheel. This plastic cover here that surrounds these buttons, it rattles. It makes a lot of noise on uneven roads, like either coarse pavement or bumpy roads. It makes a lot of tapping and vibrating, rattling noises. But as far as response goes, I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, it climbs right up the hill. Right now I'm feeling that gum band effect. That's one thing you'll notice with these CVTs with the smaller engines is they have almost what they refer to it as a gum band effect. It almost feels like it's it almost feels like hesitation, but it's just the way the CVT engages and disengages. A little bit of engine tap on this vehicle, more so when it's cold, but it definitely has, with these aluminum engines, they definitely have a little bit of a more noticeable internal noise from the valves on the top. So they do have a little bit of a light tap to them, but I think that's just the way these Asian vehicle engines sound, and just 4-cylinders in general have a tendency of being a little bit noisier. More so, like I said, whenever it gets into colder temperatures, it's really, really noticeable. But I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'm going to quickly demo the radio here. I know you're not supposed to have for copyright purposes, but oh well. So, as like I said, the Bose system, which sounds really good in here. I'm going to go ahead and just wrap this video up because it's getting kind of long and gives you the general idea. Like I said, overall summarize of this video is a review of my vehicle after owning it for a year. I bought it used. It's 2011 Nissan Altima 2.5 SL with the CVT. I've put about 9,000 miles on it. Currently has 38,891 miles as we speak. Has not really given me any major problems. It's only needed a blower motor for the heater, and it has also needed brakes, which is normal wear, tires normal wear, and basic oil changes. I recently changed the cabin air filter myself. It is very doable if you know how to use a screwdriver and you have a little bit of basic car knowledge. You can definitely handle that. On a scale of 1 to 10, it probably only comes in maybe at a 3 or 4, as 10 being the hardest to do. And that's it. I mean, other than basic maintenance, air filters, wipers, you know, that jazz. Things that I wished it had, I would definitely get if I did this again. The V6, I do like the fuel economy of the 4-cylinder, the inline 2.5, but I would definitely go with the 6 if you're a person that enjoys that extra pep. And I would get all the same features, the Bose, the surround, you know, sound system, navigation, backup, cam, sunroof, heated leather, power windows, locks. I would definitely get all those features. That's what actually makes this car, in my opinion. Without those features, in my opinion, this vehicle would be kind of plain. And trying to think if there's anything else I can think of. The paint scratch is super easy, but I think that's common on newer vehicles. So be cautious of the surface. Use good cleaning products. Don't use white wax on it if it's a black car, because it'll be spackled. It'll look like crap. I really can't think of anything else. I mean, please rate, comment, subscribe if anybody has any questions. I am a car guy. I mean, I'm not a mechanic, but I definitely have done quite a bit of work on cars, including head gaskets, brakes, oil changes. I've even painted entire vehicles. So I have quite an extensive bit of personal knowledge with vehicles. And, you know, if you have any questions in general about cars, just let me know. I'll try my best to help you out. And, you know, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate this. I enjoy making these videos. I do tend to ramble a lot, but most of you guys out that are into cars, I'm pretty sure you appreciate that, because I do tend to throw a lot of information out there. And if you have any questions about this Nissan Altima, just let me know, and I'll do my best to get you the answers and give you some help. So, hope you enjoyed watching. You all have a fantastic day. Thanksgiving is in less than a week, so happy Thanksgiving. Please stay safe, everybody, and take care.